Hey, woman, long time no see. Once upon a time, I like starting there. I'm walking from my car into the building and I pass a man on an elevator. Well, on a ladder, really. And he's changing light bulbs. And I try to make a point of connecting with people who are taking care of facilities. I find that that tends to be a group of people that gets overlooked. And it may well be just because I see them all the time, so I don't see them. But it also could be because of the type of work they're doing. So I said, "Hey, what are you up to?" He said, "I'm changing all the light bulbs in the he's either changing or he's making sure all the light bulbs work in the garage." And he said it's 96 light bulbs. That's a lot of light bulbs from my perspective. And I took a moment to thank him because I thought that's a lot of work. And I can't imagine going up and down a three foot ladder. But I also just know that sometimes it's just nice to recognize people, right? To see them. But I think it's also really kind of wonderful to be seen. And so if I want to be seen, let me be let me see others. Welcome. Welcome to the No Skimpy Costume Required podcast, which is for women who want to move from being wasted space to being the shero of her own story. So, welcome. I'm Shauna. I'm Murphy. So, let me do this. Oh, that's true. You know what I can't believe that is where's the numbers on where we are on this recording? Here we go. Mhm. Greetings. Hello. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good night, wherever you are. So it's evening. Or it's morning probably. Actually, I'm walking from my vehicle down the ramp to get to the elevator to get into the building. And on the way, I pass a man in all white who's standing on a ladder, a short ladder, maybe 3 steps. And I know him and I say, "Hey, what are you up to?" And he says, "Well, I am changing or checking all the lights in this parking garage." And I'm like, that's no small task. And I really appreciate that he's doing that because it's for me, and I think for many others, it's a safety issue, not just for us walking, but also for the people, um, the drivers. So I take a moment and appreciate him, and I thank him, and I can see him take that in because I think a lot of times situations like that, we kind of think, this is just part of my job. So why are you thanking me? And we kind of think this is part of my job and I really want to be appreciated. And I have a manager like that. I take opportunities to thank her and appreciate her. And she's like, "You have to thank me. This is my job." I'm like, no, I want to thank you. And when I appreciated him, I noticed the shift in his face. I noticed the shift in his demeanor. And we talked about it a little bit. And he said there's 96 bulbs. I don't even know. And it's a lonely job because it's just him going up and down the ladder and moving from one space to the next. And in a way, it's also sort of a loving thing gesture for him to do to make sure that we're all safe and good out here. I thought that was nice. A small thing. It didn't cost me anything. It just took a few seconds. And, I'd like to think I made someone's day. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the No Skimpy Costume Required podcast. I'm going to try the horn again. Boop. Yes, here we go, taking off. And this is a podcast for women who want to move from feeling like they're just wasted space to this place of being the hero of her own story. Hi, I'm Murphy. Let's jump into it. So, checking my notes here because I am evolving as a podcaster. I love this piece. So let's talk about the case file. This case is the case of the myth of the maverick. Part of being a shiro, I think, is being observant. And one of the things I recognize is there's many a woman out there who feels the need to be a maverick, to be the only one, and or believes she's the only one that's doing whatever it is. And I can understand that. I've been there. There's something very powerful about being a maverick. I used to consider myself a pioneer, the first one doing something, taking a step in action. There's something very profound about that. And in the shiro landscape, when we want to evolve, we want to build relational power. And relational power is about being able to recognize what's going on around us and connect with people. I mean, the word relational is in there. And as a single woman who's not been married, who doesn't have children, and is responsible for taking care of everything on my own in my home life, I get it. But I also know that if you live long enough, stuff happens, right? The dragons happen. We haven't spoken about that yet. And we need others to reach out to. Some of them we pay, like therapists, and some of them we pay indirectly by taking them out to lunch or meeting them for coffee or tea or something like that. Some of them we just pay by being a sounding board back for them, recognizing that if we're of a similar age, we're maybe of a similar, we may be in the same pride and we want to support one another. I love this concept of the pride. And I take it from what we call lions or lionesses, actually. There may be 3 or 4 lioness in a pride of various ages. They collectively raise their offspring, the little cubbies. And there might be like 9 or 10, they might be outnumbered by cubs. So as a group, the pride hunts. As the group, the pride raises the children. As a group, the pride lives. And sometimes the pride keeps the lion in order. I like watching safari things and watching and noticing what's happening there. Historically, this may be you, this may be someone you know. When we think of that, this woman is an island, we think of her as being strong, as being inspiring, as being independent, incredibly capable. And I'm not really saying she's not those things. I am saying she's probably also exhausted and or moving towards being exhausted because I've been there. And as a shiro, I don't want you to be exhausted. I want you to be well resourced, including connecting with women, I'm thinking, who are in your pride, in your circle, who will understand what you're speaking about and be able to support you. For every woman who wants to be self-sufficient, let's not forget that we need people. sometimes it's, ugh, asking for help can be tough. Uh, I think it's sometimes even much tougher to know when to ask for help. And on the other side of that, there's a real value. So my origin story, my experience with this has been that I have been what I would call, I used to consider myself a pioneer because so often I felt I was doing things that no one else in my circle had done, and no one immediately ahead of me. And there was probably truth in that. And so I understand that feeling of awesomeness that happens and the sense of accomplishment. What I was saying to you is there were still people around me supporting what I was doing, giving me feedback, maybe paying my salary. There were still, friends that would listen to me. So somewhat, I say the maverick is a myth, but I say it's also an illusion that we really are here and able to do it by ourselves. And the power for the shero is when she recognizes that her real power is relational and not just it's my way or no way. Some of us take longer to get to that point than others. I am not married. I have not had children. And I have some maverick, I can have that maverick thing going on. Some of it's practical. I recently created a little bee garden on my balcony, and it's like 100 degrees outside. I wanted to be sure bees had some water. I don't even know if they've ever found it yet, honestly. So I put a lavender plant and a mint plant out there because they're scented, and I figured they would find it. Of course, maybe the birds are finding it. And a little ceramic dish with marbles in it so they could stand on the marbles and drink their water. I don't know. It thrills me. But here's the thing. The water needs to be checked on daily, and the plants need to be checked on daily because it's 100 degrees out there. And I am marvel at the fact that a few mornings already, there's no water in the dish in the morning because I assume it's evaporated away. Maybe they've been drinking it too, but they didn't drink all that. But it's on me. It's all on me. No, there is no other person who's coming in here to do that. And that's okay. So I'm not saying, I want to be sure I say this, we can do things on our own. But the real power, the real stepping up, the real way we're going to move forward powerfully in the future is by recognizing relational power, our pride, our circle, those who we're going to bring with us along the way, or maybe those who are taking us with them along the way. Recently, I've had some medical challenges, and I needed to go to the hospital to get an infusion of iron. And my friend Bev decided to come with me, and it was wonderful. It's 2 or 3 hours. It's not forever. I've had many sessions of sitting and having this go on. So um, it's, it's boring. And it's wonderful to have someone to be there with me. And we had caught up and we got to swap some stories from people we know. It was just a really wonderful experience. Because the other part is I'm not spending a lot of time with people right now because I need to keep my immune system strong and healthy. And humans tend to be a human petri dish. So I'm selective and a little at a time and a little here and there. She brought me a picture that she framed of a butterfly taking off, and I'll add pictures to the show notes, and a paperweight. It says, thinking of you. So thanks, Bev. And thanks for coming with me. And thanks for then also treating me to dinner afterwards. I got to feel special. I got to feel heroic and possible, and I felt like I was giving to her and she was giving to me. So it wasn't solely one-sided, even though I was the one sort of in need. That's really pretty awesome. So in our own lives, I want to talk about dragon tails, right? So dragon tails are this opportunity for us to create moments of awesomeness for others. Now, as a shiro, you're creating these moments of awesomeness, not necessarily for the people in your immediate circle, but the people that are tangential, right? That the people you pass, maybe someone you'll never see again that you see on the street, someone in a toll booth, if they're ever even in toll booths anymore, in an office, maybe even someone that made you really angry and didn't give you what you wanted. So there is that. It's Here's the opportunity to, as a shiro, to build community, to identify more additional individuals who would be part of your pride, making a connection of awesomeness. And that may be that you Google or chat or what have you, and you find 3 questions that you carry with you that you ask when you see someone that doesn't have anything to do with the weather. That's my challenge. Nothing to do with the weather. And the weather's very interesting right now, so that still might be something I want to come back to, but it's something. One of your questions might be coming to this place where you really are asking, how are you? I really like the phrase from the book. So what happened to you? And provide that pregnant pause for them to answer, to know that you are genuine. You're not just doing rote stuff and running off. Offer a compliment and be specific. Here's the challenge. Here's the opportunity. Be specific. I just get a kick out of when people see me wearing my bright yellow shoes and they acknowledge them. My sister will not be seen in public with me in those shoes. Okay. Noticing someone putting up 96 lights instead of walking past them like everyone else does. This is your opportunity to build relational power, to connect with humanity, not just the people that are close to us. It's also this beautiful, brilliant opportunity to be present and be aware of who's even in your environment. There's no cost to it, right? It's maybe a few seconds of your time, and it could be powerful beyond measure. The phone booth, the mobile phone booth. I love the concept of the mobile phone booth. We talked about this in Superman movies. He runs into the phone booth and he comes back out in his leotard and no glasses and cape, and he's ready to go. I want you to be able to create a mobile phone booth that you can step into quickly. This week, the mobile phone booth is to connect with someone who's not in your inner circle. But someone adjacent, right? So a coworker, a service worker, someone doing invisible work that nobody's noticing. You be that person. Notice something specific about them. Notice their yellow shoes. Say it out loud. Take those 10, 15 seconds. Listen to what they say. That's the ritual. That's the ritual, okay? All right, cruising through here. The next part of this is the quest. So your quest, should you choose to accept it, and of course you do, is is for this episode case of the 96 lights, I would like for you to connect with someone you haven't connected with for a while, who is you acknowledge is in your circle, who's someone you've texted. Go through your phone. Every once in a while, I just go through my phone one to see who I've not responded to, if you use text or phone call. I would invite you to send a voice message because I think there's something extra special and juicy about a voice message that you don't get in a text. This is someone you know. It's also this opportunity to catch up, and maybe make it something that's doable and that you will look forward to. This is not plan a hike, a 5 mile hike, and this person you like and you want to connect with, but you really don't have time to do it. This might be, I'm going to be on my treadmill, you're going to be on your elliptical. Let's just chat for a few minutes and catch up and hit the high points. One of the things I also have been working to do more of is to say, hey, let's just take 30 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes. And I'm a talker, so I have to really put that clock in front of me so I know what's what. Sorry, I got something. I don't want to start coughing here. When you're done with that, find me. Come find me. Tell me about it. What was your experience with your quest? And feel free with all the quests to apply your own touch, your own unique touch. Be creative. If you're not creative, just try something different. Maybe maybe ask someone else, how would they do this? Maybe you reflect on what you've done in the past. So there we go. This is the case of the 96 lights. This is relational power, the part of the Shiro formula. And this is about being a maverick is a myth. Thank you for hanging with me. Now, I'm Murphy. You go be her. Go be the Shiro of your story. Implement your quest. That's the case. Game on.